Hi. Hello. How are you? I hope you're having a good day. I hope you are happy in your life right now and feeling grateful for the time we have together. And if you're not, it's cool too. If you're, maybe having a tough time right now or feeling upset or misunderstood or not heard or just in general pain or confusion or fear. I hope you know that it'll pass, and if you want to talk about any of that stuff, feel free to contact me. We can discuss it, or talk to somebody else who you trust. Maybe if you even want to make a video, I'll watch it and tell you what I think. Try to get back to you. um, Basically, I want the theme for this video to be animal liberation is human liberation. I want to sort of explore that idea and hopefully, at the same time as you figure out like what that idea means. So yeah, animal liberation is human liberation. So I think for a lot of people, we feel that what's going on in the world is often like unjust, and a lot of people that we see who are supposed to be like leaders and who are supposed to be representing mankind and guiding certain power structures in the world, I think a lot of people feel like it's unfair and it's unjust, and maybe even like powerless to it. Like they might feel their interaction with these forces is basically like a waste of time, or they might feel that when they do interact with these forces, they get results that they don't want. And maybe even further, they feel that when they do try to help bring justice into this world with these big powerful forces, that it just ends up making it worse. So there's this attitude of like there's no reason to bother, nothing can be done, there's no point. It's not worth caring about. And I think I felt like that a great deal in my life. And, I feel like there's definitely been times in my life where I felt like I was unjustly treated, and I wanted answers and I wanted solutions. And I tried to put effort into my connection with society and helping figure these things out and helping fight these things that I deem to be wrong. And it can be very complicated and confusing. And I think in the face of all that, when you look at an idea like veganism, you might think that like, what's the point? I can't. You might think as an individual like what you do doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't. It's pointless, and like it's not worth investing your time and energy into while you have such a short time on this planet. You just want to be comfortable and happy as much as you can before it's over. You don't want to try to get hung up on these issues and these animals. Like, who are these animals to you? What are the animals doing for you exactly? What difference can you make just as like one person? You can't just shut down all these factory farms. You can't just change the government or whatever. And why should you when you have your own issues and these people that you love have their own issues and everything. But I mean, I really think that you can, and I think that when every time you decide to when you decide to eat animal products, you decide to consume animal products and pay for animal products. That's a real life that you're affecting. These animals are like us. These animals feel this pain that we feel. They suffer the way that we feel. They have fear the way that we have fear. They they have families, and they want love and they want to be protected. A lot of look at these animals that we're exploiting. Look at like pigs and cows. They're not threatening us. They're not out to get us. They're not capable of that. They're not destructive. They don't have like knives or claws or whatever. They're not coming for us. I think when we do decide to harm these animals, we are opening ourselves up to harming each other and letting others harm us. We're making the statement to life in general that it is okay to unnecessarily hurt things that are weaker than us. We are making this statement to each other that it's okay to hurt things if they're powerless to it. If you can hurt something, why not? Go ahead. And I don't think it stops the animals. I think it shows up in all aspects of our lives. And when we're willing to we're willing to hurt these things that are more innocent to us, like why should anybody else take pity on us just because we're not as strong or capable as them? Like why should we expect our leaders to care about how they might be harming us? If we're willing to harm these other creatures that can't defend themselves, that really sends a message to all of us. And I'm just trying to get these ideas that come to me out there. I think a lot of us, we might feel that we're in pain, and that pain isn't being addressed properly, and it makes us feel like we have to just like constantly defend ourselves and be ready for other people to hurt us like all the time. You can't trust things and everything, and you might find that if you show compassion for those that are like weaker than you, then you're opening yourself up to be exploited yourself. And you don't want to show that kind of weakness, because if you do show that kind of compassion and weakness, you might feel that somebody's more likely to hurt you. But I want to make the case that showing compassion for those that are weaker than you and showing that you have the strength to protect those weaker than you, I think that will get you closer to a place in life where other people aren't going to want to harm you. They're not going to want to exploit you. And it's going to bring you a sobriety that will help you defend against these forces that you feel are threatening in the world. I don't think it's good to normalize any kind of violence. And I think when generally when you look at people that are willing to partake in violence, generally you're going to find that you're going to feel that they're more likely to unnecessarily be violent towards you, and it's going to be more difficult to trust these people to have your safety in mind. Hang around a person that like abuses dogs unnecessarily because they get some strange thrill out of it. I think you'll find that you don't feel as safe around people like that. You would rather be around somebody for your own safety that doesn't participate in those kinds of behaviors. You don't, you'll feel that they're more likely to be violent towards you. Um, I think, you know, it's a little difficult to word things. I just keep, I have, I spend a lot of time watching like factory farming footage and slaughterhouse footage of different animals like pigs, cows, dogs, different birds, chickens, gooses, and I see the kind of pain and suffering happening to them, and it can fill me with a lot of passion and a lot of ideas and a lot of concepts I want to discuss, but it also just, like right now, thinking about it just sort of stops me. It kind of robs all of the words from my brain, and it's kind of that cliche thing where there like are no words when you're just accepting that kind of violence and pain. The way that I kind of try to explain it to people or to myself is that it is like trying to imagine the size of the known universe. It's so enormous, it's every time you feel like you're getting closer to understanding the magnitude of the size of the universe, you realize you're nowhere closer to actually knowing how enormous it is. And that's how I basically feel about the way we're treating animals right now on this planet. The more and more I understand and see how much suffering they're going through, the more I understand that I don't know how horrible it is. I don't know. I can't fathom the billions of animals that we're unnecessarily hurting. And it kind of it leaves you in awe, similarly to trying to rationalize the size of the universe. It robs you of your speech. So yeah, animal liberation is human liberation. So you might also ask yourself, like, why would you worry about the animals when we already have these like really pressing human issues, like maybe capitalism, socialism, um, wealth inequality, wars that are still going on, general exploitation. You have a regular job and you feel like you don't get paid enough and you work too hard and you're trying to take care of other people and, barely have the energy for that. You might feel that you don't even have enough energy for that. Why worry about something like veganism? There's way more pressing issues, right? Well, sort of like what I was saying earlier in the video is like, how can you expect people to show compassion for you when you're not even willing to show compassion for those animals that are more innocent than you are, that have less defenses than you do? You're encouraging a compassionless society, whether you mean to or not. I'm sure you don't mean to, but it's there, and it's there every day, and it's enormous. And I'm trying to avoid just like preaching you to watch factory farming footage, but I mean that's like the most convenient way to get closer to understanding the scope of the violence and the pain that we are contributing to. And I think if you really start to look at it, you will see clearly that it is ridiculous to expect that if we're willing to participate in that kind of behavior, it's ridiculous to expect that like anybody else is going to treat, any other humans are going to treat as well. We're just encouraging this unnecessary violence. But man, it's crazy. I had so many ideas for this video, and it's just like as soon as I start thinking about the factory farming, it stops my brain. It's so awful. I see people get pretty upset about people talking about veganism. I see a lot of people kind of angry at vegans and they feel kind of offended by it. And I'd like you to just like ask yourself where that's really coming from inside of you. Why would something like that offend you, or why would something like that make you want to lash out? Why would you want, like, what is driving you to make you want to attack vegans or whatever, or attack the idea of veganism? Where is that coming from? Because I want to understand, and I want you to understand so that we can like understand each other. Even if, let's say, veganism is wrong, let's figure that out together. Let's figure out why it's wrong. Help me and other people that identify as vegan see why it's wrong. It's so horrible. um, I think you will. If you really start to embrace these ideas, though, you'll find that like it makes total sense that if you are going to show compassion to those that have less defense, and who are weaker and who are more innocent than you are, then like it's obvious that like other people will want to do that as well, and other people will want to treat you with more compassion as well. You know. Um, Now, I'm sorry. I'll probably make another video after this, but I thought I had a lot more to say. I urge you to like, if you want to understand where I'm coming from and why I feel the need to talk about these things and try to promote these things. I'm gonna post some links in the description One is to what I believe is a very tasteful documentary on animal agriculture by a very famous celebrity named Joaquin Phoenix, and the documentary is called Earthlings. And if you're interested in understanding why I feel the need to talk about this stuff and try and share this stuff and embrace veganism, please, just watch the documentary. Watch as much of it as you can, and if you like eating animals, you should probably enjoy watching what happens to them. I think if you feel that animals are delicious and it is an appealing thing to eat animals, you would think that you would enjoy watching them be slaughtered. And I think in general, people, they don't like animal. They don't. I think in general, it's normal for humans to just not want to see vulnerable creatures getting hurt, because I think they know deep down inside that, like, what if I'm vulnerable? What if I'm in a situation where I'm vulnerable? Are people gonna hurt me that way? I think it's a really good question. So yeah, I'll be posting a link to that documentary, and if you don't have time for that, I'm gonna post a link to an Instagram account that you can quickly see a lot of standard treatments to these animals that we're paying for, and please, just if you like all these products and you like all these foods, you should see these things, because you should just know. You should know what you're paying for. You should know what you're consuming. You would think that, like, if humans are meant to kill these animals, process them, take their parts, it should feel natural and enjoyable to see this footage. So, like a tiger, they don't feel disturbed by the violence. They just go for it. They don't think about the animal's feelings or anything like that. They just go for it. They eat it raw, right there, tear it apart. I've never seen a human do that. Never seen a human do that, ever, ever. I've never seen a human just chase after an animal, rip it apart, eat into it like it's nothing. It's like there's some like carnivore diet type people in on the internet community right now. And when they do that, it's an enormous discussion. And it's not just an enormous discussion for the people who are against that behavior, but it's an enormous discussion for those people partaking in that behavior. It's a huge thing. If you look at hunting in general, it's not just a very obvious, normal, going through the motions kind of thing, like regular eating or using the restroom or walking around, going shopping. It is a huge thing. It is a huge conversation. And I think when you look at actual carnivores in life, it's not like that for them. So I'm gonna post a couple links below, and this isn't how I was planning on ending the video, but I just totally lost my words, and I hope if you're interested, and if you love eating animals and stuff like that, or buying animal products, check it out, take a look at it. Thank you.